Hey, listen, this is Ramon. I'm one of the hosts of the Ignition Show. Ellis, she's been doing all the intros, all by herself. I don't mind it. I mean, I'm in Jersey. She's at HQ, so she probably ranks, and she should just do it anyhow. But it's not that I want to be on camera, but I'm just thinking every single intro, I can't get a little bit of camera time. I gotta go, because she's gonna come in soon. But man, just want a little bit. Can't give a guy just a little bit. I gotta run because she's gonna hear. Okay. I hope this is taping. I'll see you later.
Ignition, I'm Ellis Friedman.
And I'm Ramon Ray. Thanks for watching. Ignition is a weekly show where we help you grow your business by asking you, or not asking you actually, but answering one question focused on sales and marketing. And we hope you enjoy the show. So Ellis, what is our question of the week?
Our question of the week is from Ernesto. He says, I started my event planning business 4 years ago. Now I have a team of 3 other people working for me. I found that in managing and working in the business, I'm really overwhelmed and running out of time. Back when it was just me, or even me and my first employee, it was exhilarating. But now there's just not enough time to do everything. How do I manage to run a business, plan events, and stay sane? Is it really possible to have any semblance of a work-life balance?
Wow. It sounds like Ernesto has a lot of problems. Sounds like he's frustrated and just overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, yeah.
Thankfully, we don't have to worry about answering his question. But
we don't have to get overwhelmed with that.
We do not. No. But we have an expert with us today, and that expert is Jen Slaw with Jen Slaw Speaks. And Jen Slaw is a juggler, but beyond being a juggler, and you can correct me, Jen, from your perspective, she's a master, a speaker, and I would say an insightful person helping small businesses get life's balance. We met some time ago, and we're happy to have you on the show, so welcome.
Thank you, great to be here.
Welcome, Jen. So where would you start with Ernesto's question?
Well, first of all, I think it's a problem that all of us can relate to as entrepreneurs. You know, as entrepreneurs, when we're running our own business, we're wearing many different hats. We are providing a service. We may also be taking care of marketing and, you know, who knows, graphic design. So it can feel overwhelming having all these things to juggle, right? And I tend to look at balance, not necessarily looking at work-life balance as a totally even split, 50% of our time devoted to work, 50% of our time devoted to life. That's just impractical and unrealistic. But if we look at it more as finding the right proportions and juggling all the different pieces of our life, we can start to really find some semblance of balance.
And so there is no balance, you're saying. In essence, that work-life balance is kind of a, not oxymoron, but
or the balance is never the same for anybody.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think the way a lot of people think about it is unrealistic. So it's finding your own pattern, the one that will work for you based on your own priorities, and you know, maintaining a level of focus, but also flexibility and being adaptable and being able to, you know, adjust the pattern to what works best for you.
So how do you find your pattern?
Well, I have a little formula that I think will be helpful for Ernesto. But first, what I thought might be fun is for us to have a little balance illustration. I brought some peacock feathers, and I'd like to have you guys stand up with me.
Are you going to tickle us?
And, well, maybe. Watch out.
Okay, we'll see.
Ramon, is this a fetish?
So I'll give you each a feather.
Thank you.
And you're going to place the feather on the palm of your hand.
Okay.
You're going to look up to the top of the feather, the eye of the feather, let go, and see if you can balance the feather by focusing on the top and just moving your hand underneath it to make little adjustments. Tricky at first, right? But if you focus on the top, you'll start to get the hang of this.
I don't think I'm a natural at this.
And is the goal, Jen, to be able to hold your hand still, or are you allowed to move? Is that acceptable to
Well,
move your
no,
hand?
you're always making little adjustments.
I
And
see.
the goal eventually is to make just subtle little adjustments. But the point is you're never perfectly still, right? If you stay perfectly still, the feather will fall. You have to adjust. You have to follow where the feather is leading you. And you can only do that by focusing on the top and staying focused, unclear on your vision.
And you're saying Ernesto he has all these things in his business. Focus on maybe a few of them, or be able to adjust and to focus, but understanding that he still has a lot of these things in his business.
Exactly.
Got it.
Oh, looking good, guys.
Yeah, hey, we're experts. You can hire us.
You're hired.
I mean, we should keep our day jobs.
With juggling, the basic building block is the single ball. So I have a nice little fun acronym for him to help him remember. We'll start with B, break it down, right? So it can be overwhelming when you have all these things to do. You have to look at, well, how can I break this down into pieces, and how can I start and take one action step at a time? So when we learn to juggle, we start with one ball. We don't start with all 3. We start with one, and we build the skill before we move on to 2 and 3. So, if he has a huge party to plan, how can he look at one element and take one action step on that one element first?
Because you'll find that most people are trying to take too much at one time instead of breaking it down. Got it.
And it's important, even when juggling all these things,
Wow.
you can see that even though I'm juggling 3, there's only one ball in the air at a time. So my job for that split second is to focus on that one particular ball that's in the air.
What's next?
Excellent.
So the A, ask for help. It sounds like Ernesto is off to a good start. He has a few people working with him,
Yep.
but really important to build a support team, even find mentors and advisors who can help you prioritize your goals, people who have done this before, don't totally reinvent the wheel, but keep the lines of communication open and really work with your team. Be clear on your vision, communicate that to them, and let them help you.
It's almost like this show. We were going to do the show by ourselves, 2 Ignition shows, but we said, hey, why not just do it together? And it's even better than ever. So,
Well, really, it was more like, I guess we have to work together now.
yeah, I guess, or something like that. So go
Well,
ahead.
you can play on each other's strengths too, right?
So we got, break it down. A is...
Ask for help.
Ask for help, okay.
Okay, learn from the drops, right? This is a big one with juggling. Jugglers know that we can't learn to juggle. We can't learn a new trick without dropping. We know it's just part of the process, and if we can pick up the ball and learn from our mistake, we can learn something for the next attempt. Many people are so afraid of making a mistake or failing that they don't take the risk, and they fail to learn something new that could really, help improve their business. And the last one is let it go, right? You can't learn to juggle if you don't throw the ball, if you don't let it go. This kind of has a couple different applications. Sometimes we need to just let things go and delegate them to others so that we can use our time for what our true strengths are. So really important, to just let it go, get started, and try to find that right pattern for yourself. So many different patterns and different ways we can approach things.
Wow. And does let it go apply also to, like, let it go where it's gone and just move on?
Yes, definitely. Sometimes done is better than perfect, right? And sometimes we just need to move on and get our work out there in the world. There is one other thing I wanted to mention, just practice, just not forgetting that, today there's so many great technological advances and we expect everything to happen so instantly. We have all this great technology at our fingertips, but it's important to remember that a lot of this stuff takes practice.
Yes.
And it's important to be patient with ourselves and know that, it takes practice and time to develop the right process that works for us.
Awesome.
Excellent. Jen, thank you so much for being here and for the excellent visual aids.
You're
Absolutely.
welcome. Fun to be here.
Thank you very much. Thanks for watching Ignition, and I hope you learned a lot today. And those who want to contact us, Alice, what can they do?
Well, if you have a question you'd like an expert to answer, not ask, answer, you can email us at blog@infusionsoft.com.
Awesome. Thanks for watching. I'm Ramon Ray.
And I'm Ellis Friedman.